What's good, YouTube? Welcome back for episode 16 of the beginner's guide for space engineers. So I've got an idea here. We just got some new blocks in with the DLC that I just got a hold of. That's I believe it was like the Future Pack or something like that. I don't remember the exact name of the DLC, but it's on the Steam page if you want to check it out. I'm pretty sure you can pick up the DLCs for Xbox as well, so you might want to look into that. There's a few new blocks that I want to use, along with basic, just different little things that we can do here. So it was time to start on a moon base anyway, so I'm going to actually be using some of the new blocks, such as the hinge block that's in the DLC. I believe that was for everyone. I don't think you have to get the DLC for the hinge block. I don't remember. But there's a few new thrusters and stuff like that. We'll probably go over all of that stuff in the future videos. However, I wanted to do some basic use the hinge block and stuff like that for an airlock and everything for the base. So what we're going to do here today is we're going to go ahead and basically build out an area so we can start digging down and do an underground base here, which is something we haven't really covered yet in the series, is a fully underground base with an airlock and everything. Because this is out in space and there is no atmosphere here, we're going to need an airlock before it's over with. So I think I'm going to add an airlock large enough to hold the ship here. And in order to do that, I'm basically going to have to map out what size I need it to be and start digging it out. There's a couple methods that I want to use for digging. I think we're going to have to start with the little guy here first. I've got him cut off so he doesn't waste all of his energy there. But basically, we're going to start out with this guy here until we get up enough material to basically build up what we need inside of here to build a platform that we can automatically dig everything out that we want to. So this is going to be a little interesting. I'm not going to do it like we did in the previous episodes, digging the tunnels and stuff with the larger drill array. I'm going to build a drill array that's something like the printer that we did in the last episode, where we did the 3D printer to print this ship off. So that's basically what I'm thinking about doing today, and hopefully we can at least get most of the way dug through on this. If not, then we'll continue that on the next episode, and we should have everything we need set up by then. So the first thing that I'm going to do, like I said, is I'm going to have to basically raise this ship up a little bit and do a bunch of running back and forth, picking up stone and ice and things like that and running it back to the base, or to the ship here, in order, because remember, we have machines inside to build with. So we're going to set it up that way. And I'm just trying to look around to see what the best way for me to dock into this thing would be right now. I think the top would probably be the best. We do have a couple little spots here that we could actually run some connectors off of. I think if we run a connector off the top here, that's probably going to be the easiest route to start with. And then once we get up enough, we're going to basically lay stuff down and mark out the area. So I'll show you what I'm talking about once I get it done. So I'm starting out by getting rid of these connectors we've got on the bottom that we were using to connect to the main base back home, because we're not really going to need them for the time being, especially for what we're doing here. And with those connectors, I'm actually going to create a spot up here to connect to, because the fact that we have, as you see, we have a connection on the back, but not on the bottom. Oh yeah, we do have one on the bottom, but basically it'll make it easier if we just connect straight up through the back here, I think. We're going to make an L connector up top here, so let's go ahead and get that done, and I'll get right back with you. Okay, so we got our little L plate done here, so all I'm doing is just giving us an easy way to connect to the base. That way we can dump all the stone and stuff that we pick up along the way pretty easily, and that'll give us enough material to start building what we need to build. We're going to need to build first the outlying area, and then I'm going to try to figure out a way to connect this up to that outlying area just to make things easier to dump and things like that. So we'll get into that shortly. I don't think I have any places in the back to connect here. No, I don't. I'll have to figure out some way to hook up to the base while we're working on it, because I need to basically raise this up to where I can get up underneath it and work. But for now, we're just gonna pick this guy up and go ahead and start him up and start basically just going through the area here and digging out some of the area that we are sure that we're going to need to dig out. So let me straighten out so I don't smack into the ground here. And then I'm going to just basically start digging like right in this area here. This will give us probably enough stone to make what we need to do, or what we need to with. We may need some cobalt, which means I'm going to have to go look for it, but we'll find that shortly. So I'm just going to start digging regular here. So let me go ahead and switch to my drill and just start digging some of this stuff up. I need to watch my... Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, I need to cut off the thing that we have to spit the stone out here. Hopefully that, yeah, that'll stop now. And pick up what we just dropped. And then just start digging straight down. It doesn't really matter if we dig straight down or not with the way we're going to do it. So we're just going to pick this up. And then once I get up some stone and stuff like that. So we're actually... Ooh, we are running into one minor issue here. I don't think... Yeah, we're not quite strong enough to pull ourselves out of this. So we're going to have to do very, very small sections to start with. So I'm just going to cut this on long enough for us to drop a little bit of the stone that we already have in here. That way we can at least raise the ship a little bit. There we go. So I had to dump most of the payload there. That's not that big of a deal. Now the only problem is I don't think we're going to be able to... Yeah, we're going to have to dump a little bit more here so we don't just make ourselves fall when we go to do this. Now, I didn't think about this beforehand when I made the ship. I didn't think about the fact that I'd probably be using this on the moon, so it was probably a better idea to go ahead and redesign a new ship for this, but we didn't. Hindsight's always 20/20. It would be a good idea in the future to try to think ahead if you can. So we don't quite have enough thrust on the bottom, and I don't know if we're going to, actually. But as you notice, I'm just basically paying attention to what's going on here as I go up and just making sure that I'm not going to fall. We're probably not going to have much of a payload here either. That's going to be a problem. So it's going to take a few trips. I just need to figure out exactly what our payload needs to be in order to be stable here. Okay, so this is about the max that we can hold. That would be 52 kilograms or 52,000 kilograms. We can barely move in the up direction here. Yeah, that's exactly the most that we can hold for the most part. So we need to fill it up to about 52 kilograms each trip that we make here. And then, that's going to be a few trips then before we can get up enough for the drill system that I want to run. But we'll work on that. If we need to, we can work slowly to build and build. But the number one thing I need to do here is I just need to get up enough material to create the beginnings of the drill system, and then we can use the drill system that we have created in order to go further and further. So a couple drills should be fine. Just go in increments there. This is definitely something that we're going to end up having to replace. I may take this back to the other base, or we may just cannibalize it for parts. That's probably what we'll do. We'll take this apart when we're ready to redesign. And that way we can design one that can go off and grab what we need to on the moon. I want to use the new thrusters anyway, so why not redesign, right? Okay, so once we get docked up here, we should be good to go. So just go ahead and park in there and see the explosions back here. I don't know what's going on here. I think, yeah, that one right there is having issues. So I'm just going to disable it for now. And then we will come in here and see about what we need to do here. Now we can go to any panel in this entire ship and see what's going on with it. Let's see. We've got, okay. Do we have any stone being taken care of through... Looks like it's already done here. Ooh, this is going to be a little bit hard. So let's see. Go to production here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to need some drills to start with. So we're going to go ahead and queue up a couple drills. Let's see. I think I can do that through large blocks here, because these will be large block drills. Now, I found out that if you have a moving drill system, you can go with a space in between on the drills, but I think that's only in circles. I don't think it works in a line, and we're going to be doing a line here for this setup. So we're going to need just as many drills as we have blocks wide, but we'll get into that shortly. So yeah, one of the new blocks here is the sci-fi large atmospheric thrusters and the sci-fi ion thrusters. These are a part of the DLC that I was talking about. They're really cool looking. I am going to be putting those on some of my ships, but if we put any on the workshop, I'll put them both with and without those. That way you guys can use them if you want. And these hinge parts right here are going to play, a solid role in what I want to do for our airlock too. So these are the number one thing. These, I believe, they came without the DLC. So basically part of the regular patch that just came in. And I can't remember the neon tubes. I'll have to look it up. I will post out in the description which blocks are and aren't in the DLC. But we're going to come on through here and we're going to look for specifically drills. So the easiest way to do that is just search for drill here. And we're going to create 3 of those to start with. We don't quite have enough here, so I'm just going to basically run things back and forth until we get enough materials to make all of that. I still need to set these guys up with the sensors as well, and I want to set this guy up better with the sensors because I've got to get up close to here. If I remember, oh wait, no, yeah, I've got this one set up for this because of the size of the thing that we were trying to fly in here. Okay, so we're just going to keep picking this rock up and running it back and forth until we've got enough for the 3 drills that we want to do. And we can cannibalize the ship too if we need to. In fact, I'm going to be doing that just to build the drill system that I want to do. But we'll get into that shortly. In fact, from the looks of it, we can probably carry more. Let me go ahead and dump my cargo here. I think we can carry more on our person than we can in the ship at this moment because of the gravity. Us not designing this thing for gravity. So I'm just basically going to run it back and forth like this for now until we can get our drill system set up. It's at least going to be faster because we don't have to keep docking and undocking and all that fun stuff. Also, while I'm running this back and forth, just wanted to say I've put the first beginner's guide for 7 Days to Die Alpha 19 up. So if you're interested in that, definitely check that video out. It will be live at the same time, if not before this video. I believe they'll both release the same time. It's really according to how long it takes to upload this video once I get it all rendered out and everything. But hopefully they release at the same time. But either way, the video will be live. It's already almost uploaded. It's uploading now while I'm shooting this video, so check that out. It's a really fun game. If you haven't seen it yet, I think you'll like it. And it is available on the console. However, if you are coming in from the console and you want to check the console version out, the older version, the old Alpha 17 version that I have in the playlist, I'll link both playlists down below. The older version would be for you for the Alpha 17, not the Alpha 19, because it's been a while since they've updated on the console. But at least give it a look, see if you like it, let me know what you think. Okay, so hopefully we've got enough rock in there now to where the drills are done. No, they're not quite done yet. We need a lot of steel plates, so that means I'm going to have to ride around for a little while and take care of that. I'm looking at this to see if there's any extra weight we can take off. We don't need this now, so we can actually dump all this stuff into our storage over there. We can drop all that stuff that we just dropped off into the other storage as well, so I'm going to be doing that. I'm basically getting rid of any weight that we don't need off of this thing just to make it a little easier. We're going to be connecting from the back here so we can get rid of this. We don't need the weapons. We don't need all of the steel plating that we have on here. So I'm just going to cannibalize this as much as I can for now, just to reduce the weight and all of that that's here, and also use these parts to build what we want to build. I gotta go catch that. I don't want to lose all of that. And basically just bring this down to a skeleton ship. Okay, so I've gotten it down to the bare necessities here. Hopefully we can pick up a little more and carry it. That'll make things a little bit easier to go. And we've also got a bunch of stuff here. So let's go ahead and dump this all in here and then see if we can't do a drill here. So I'm going to go ahead and one drill should be enough for what we need. I am going to need to add a couple of these little guys here. So that's shouldn't be too much of a problem. So we're going to go ahead and queue one of these up with the, let's see. I need to put one in the build planner here so I can queue it up. And then now that I have that, let's go ahead and control click to pull enough for one out. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to add, do we have what we need for that? No, we don't. What is it that I need? I need interior plates. Yeah, I'm just going to dequeue everything that's in here that hasn't been made yet. Take everything apart and make exactly what we need. Hopefully we've got everything that we need to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come through here and disassembling. It's the trick that I showed you before about disassembling things that you don't need and then reassembling for things that you do need. And I'm just going to queue up a single drill and a couple of these little conveyor tubes. In fact, I can disassemble this as well and just use what we have here for that if I need to, just for the tubes. I'll probably do that. But I just need to make sure that I've got enough up for one drill, and that should suffice. So I'm going to come through here and just move everything around. So I'll be right back with you. Okay, so we got all that done. Now I can just queue up a drill here. We should have all the stuff that we need for this because I just disassembled all the stuff. Oh yeah, I need to cancel all this out too because I don't want to do the wrong thing. So we're just going to disassemble all here, clear all this out, and then come back over to assembling. This is something that always messes with me, is the fact that you have to be in assembling when you click on this. But we're going to do one drill, and we're going to do, if I can spell,
energy.
We're going to do conveyor tubes. So I'm going to do about 4 of these. So I just clicked 4 times to get the 4 up. And then I need to grab some energy from the ship here. Let me do that. Hopefully we've got enough to do everything that we needed to do in that. And if we do, then we can just add add a drill to the bottom of the ship and just drill directly from the ship. And that would be the smart thing to do in this situation. That way we can just keep drilling until we get up enough for more drills and that sort of thing. Basically move inch forward. And then we can take this ship apart too, because like I said, we're going to be completely replacing this ship once it's over with. And let's see, what do we have going here? Yeah, I do have enough materials here, so we will be able to do what we needed to do. Let's go ahead and start grabbing up what we needed. So in order to lay these out, I needed the interior plates. So I'll just grab a bunch of those and get this all laid out. I'm going to have to take off a little bit with the ship, so let me do that. Let me move this guy out of the way so we don't just smack into him and destroy it. There we go. I keep forgetting that those bottom thrusters aren't enough to keep us up in the air. Let me go ahead and cut this off. And then I can move this guy over here. I need to bring him up a little bit just so I can get up underneath him with the drill. And then we'll start drilling out the area that we need once we get those placed. Okay, so then all we have to do is just drop one of these guys straight down here. So we're going to need a couple of these. I think the 4 should be enough, which is exactly what I told it to do. And then we're going to have to place right on the edge of that a drill. Let me go grab some plates so I can start that up. And I'm going to go ahead and get this all welded up for you guys and then catch back up with you when it's done. And looks like we're going to be done with this in just a second here so I can show you what I've got going here. I simply just put a drill on the bottom of this, and that way we can control the drill from the ship and basically just drill what we need to make more drills from the cockpit there. And I wanted to raise the ship up so I could lower that down a little bit and have more control over where we were drilling. That's all I did. And this will actually work a lot faster than running this little small ship back and forth. So I'm going to run in now and hop in the cockpit and start drilling away. Okay, so I'm just going to put the block tools here. Or actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to just find the drill that we just put in here. This will be the easiest thing to do. I'm not sure which drill's which here. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the right one. No, that's not. There we go. Basically, if you add and remove things on a ship, for some reason it stays here. I wish it wouldn't, but I'm just going to put the drill down here, right there for toggle block on and off. That way I can just hit number 1 and turn the drill on or off. That's the easiest way to do it for me. And we're just basically going to use the ship as a drilling platform to start with, and then we're just going to drill up enough to where we can drill more out in the future. We're also going to be picking up ice and stuff as we go, so we're just going to inch forward here. This will be actually pretty good here. That way we can get ice and stone. This will get us enough to do our drilling platform that we need. We just need enough to make enough drills to where we can cover the width of the ship here. We don't need any more than that from what we're doing here, so it shouldn't take us too long to get that done. So I'm just going to keep drilling here. Okay, so now that I've got a little bit of that done, I'm going to go ahead and just assemble some stuff here. So I need about at least 4 drills to start with, I think. So we're going to queue up 4 drills. We're going to queue up some pistons. Let's see, I'm gonna need, we'll go for about 4 pistons to start with, and we're going to need to queue up, looks like we're gonna need more silicon and iron, which is not a problem. I think we may still be processing some of that, but even if we don't have enough, now that we have a drill attached to the ship, it's not going to be a big deal. So I'll just basically, until I get those made, 4 pistons, and yeah, that should be about enough. And I'm going to need 1 more of these conveyor pieces. I'm going to need a junction here, so I queued that up as well. So I'm just going to keep going until we've gotten everything that we need for this. That'll give us 5 drills total. So that'll be 2 on each side of the drill, and then some pistons to where we can basically automate it slightly, and that'll bring us a lot more materials. By the time we get that done and we get 1 round of the automation done, we should be good to go. So we're going to go ahead and just keep picking this up until we have enough. So I'll be back with you. Yeah, we've got enough for everything that we need now, so we are good to go. It's almost done building as well. So basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to use some pistons and turn this around a little bit and just add some extra drills on top of this setup so I can kind of automate some things here, just to make it easier to get up larger quantities of what we need. I think we've actually got a good bit already, but we're going to go ahead and see what we can do here. I'm basically just going to keep up scaling until we get to the point to where we feel like we are good to go, and then we're just going to build a printer, or a reverse printer. What would you call that? More like a shredder, I guess. So the first thing I need to do here is I need to grab enough stuff to make one of these. So let me go for conveyor here. And get rid of the drill out of there. And let's see, where is a conveyor? Yeah, we need a junction. So we're going to add that to the build planner. And then we're going to shift click. Or not shift click. Control click to pull enough for the conveyor out. And that way we can just go ahead and add a conveyor. Let's see, I'm going to have to get rid of this guy here too. So let me bring the ship down here just for temporary purposes. I'm just trying to save myself from having to make a bunch of little trips back and forth. So I'm just going to dump this in here for now. And then get rid of this drill that we've got sitting here. Didn't quite have enough space in our inventory for those steel plates, so I'm going to have to go grab those up real quick. It says it's full. So let's go ahead and just swap some of this stuff out. Okay, so I'm placing this conveyor junction here, and I'm just going to attach all of our drills to it. Make life a little bit easier here. But first thing that I need to do is I need to grab the pistons up too, and I needed 4 of those. So let me go ahead and add those to my build planner. This just makes things easier for me to grab it using the build planner stuff that's there. Okay, so I need 4 of those, and we're going to go ahead and grab those out of here as well. So Alt-click and Control-click. There we go. That's not quite enough for all 4 of them, but that's fine. We'll work on that. And I need to add that to my bar. There we go. Okay, so now we don't have to keep running back and forth now that we got our pistons and stuff in here. So basically, all I'm going to do is drop off all this stuff in here. Let's see, can I run this stuff back, or do we not have a connection? Yeah, I can, good. Let's see, we're going to go ahead and grab up a bunch of steel plates out of here. For some reason, it's not letting me do too much here. Okay, yeah, it is, good. So we're just going to grab up some steel plates just to, might as well just fill up with steel plates. All right, so we're good on that. And then we're just going to basically take 4 or 5 drills, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That way we've got 2 on each side. And we're basically going to do that and just run these pistons to where we can push it back. That's the easiest way to do it. And we've got a full 4 pistons extension here, so we can actually get a large swath of stuff, and then we can just basically grab what we need to make more drills. And that's the general principle of what we're doing here. So I'm going to go ahead and clear out my build planner here, and then we're just going to add these all to the build planner and work on welding them up real quick. Okay, and I also made sure that I hit this middle one first and got it fully built up before I built the other ones up, just so I could still have an easy way to access everything. Now that that's done, I should be able to pretty much finish these guys up. I've gotten most of the stuff that I need. I just need some steel. Well, I got all the steel plates actually done. So let's see. I think that's all the stuff that I needed. I'm just going to grab everything I can out of here. I need 12 of these large steel tubes for each one, but I can grab those after. And then we'll have all of this done and ready to go here. Okay, so I have all of these done. So we're going to go ahead and just turn these guys on here. In fact, we're going to turn all of these drills on. So let's go for that. Now that they're on, we need to be very careful about this and tell these pistons to extend very slowly. So I did a test on another video of how quickly we can move these drills safely without getting any clang, and it turned out to be 0.8 meters per second. So if we divide 4 by 0.8, we get 0.2. So we want each one of these pistons to move at 0.2 meters per second. So I'm going to go ahead and set them up real quick. Let's see, we're going to go negative 0.2. And that way, all we have to do, I'm going to go ahead and group these up just like we did before. Now all we need to do is take this group right here, put it on the bar for the ship, and just set it on a reverse. And we can extend the piston and drag out an entire section there. And that should get us everything that we need to do. What we need to do with. So let's go ahead and get all that done real quick. So now I just need to find a flattish area that we can drag. I think right inside of this crater is going to be almost perfect, actually. This crater right in front of us. I think that's going to be large enough to house our entire base area. I just want to make sure that it's large enough to fit the ship in. Yeah, I think that's going to be just right, actually. It's going to be nice and large. So we got us a nice flattish area. This is going to pick up pretty much everything that we need. It's going to be stone and ice for now. And I don't want to dig too much other than what we have to dig. That way we can keep the terrain clean a little bit here. So just make sure that I'm nice and level. All right, so we should be level now. And move on down to where we're just inside of the terrain there. Yeah, we're going to have to be careful with this one. So I just want to get deep enough to where I know I'm going to drag it out like I need to and not over dig. That should be perfect there. And all I need to do now is I need to go for groups here and put pistons here and just toggle reverse. And now that that's done, I can just sit completely still here, hit number 2, and we will move at exactly 0.8 meters per second. So we'll get clang free. Just keep it leveled out a little bit here. I am having to fight a little bit here just to keep it level, but that's fine. That's not a big deal. And now we've got us a little bit of an automated drilling rig here that kind of flattens the land out a little bit. Now, this is the same principle we're going to be using for the digger that we're going to be doing. So we're going to mark out our spot. Once we get all this, I think I'm going to go 2 rounds of this guy right here. And then once I get that, I'm going to start building out a framework for where I want the large airlock to be. And we're going to do the same thing except for on a larger scale and automate it to go down as well. So silly me, I've got all these tanks and everything, but I just realized that I didn't add in this version of the ship, I never added in a generator. That's why our hydrogen's not going up and neither is our oxygen. So I'm going to have to actually build one of those as well. But I'm not too worried about that right now. I think we're good for now. So I'm just going to hop out of there and then I'm going to start laying things out here. So we're just going to run outside. There we go, and start laying this out. So what we need to do is we need to grab up a bunch of steel plate here and just start laying out a framework for where we're going to have our airlock to land this guy in. So we're just going to go create a bunch of steel plate. I think 1,000 should be a good start, maybe a little more. We're going to create a thing later to weld all this up, and that'll be a couple episodes down the line. I just want to get this little reverse printer thing, I guess the drilling platform, done before the end of the episode, at least to where we can automate it. So now that we've gotten that, that should be enough to lay out what we need to. I'm not going to actually weld any of this up for now. Okay, so 230 should be good. Let's go ahead and just grab up blocks here so we can place them. I think... yeah, yellow is going to be a good starting color. Let's see. I want to place my first block, say, about right here. And then we're just basically going to outline the ship with these blocks. That way we're sure we've got enough of an opening in order to land inside of the airlock here. So like I said, we're just basically laying out the foundation just so we know exactly where we need to drill and all that fun stuff. I don't need it the exact size of the ship here. I just need it to be roughly the same size. As long as it's larger, that's what matters. Ah, come on. Running low on fuel here. I gotta run downstairs to the medical bay and get some more fuel. I'm starting to think my little hang-ups may be drill related. It seems like every time that I get the issue to where I can't do anything, it's because the drills are on. So let me go ahead and cut off all the drills here in the panel and see if that helps anything. There we go. It doesn't seem to do it when I don't have drills on, but it will hang up if I do have drills on. So I think it's trash cleanup related more than likely. So I need to figure out what that is. I think it may be because I'm mismatching all my hardware. Honestly, I should be okay once I get everything updated. I'll keep you guys in the loop on that if you want. But we got more fuel now, so we're good to go. I'm going to continue to do this. Let's see. I think that's going to be long enough. I'm going to go a couple extra just to be on the safe side. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. We just want it to be larger than the ship. So I want to make sure I'm larger than the ship here. And I'm going to run a support column down to there. Let's see. Yeah, run this on into the ground here. That way we can basically air tighten all of that. And run across here. I want my airlock to give me plenty of room to land in. That's why I wanted to go bigger than the ship by quite a few blocks there. That way I don't have to be perfect to land, if you know what I mean. I'd save a bunch of headache later in the game, I think. But we're going to use this as basically a blueprint of where we want to dig. And go ahead on this. Let's see. It'll be fine to go from here because we did leave some room in the back. I'm going to go one more further this way just to be on the safe side. Now, in one of my previous videos, I'm going to pop in here to my game settings here because I want to show you guys something. In one of my previous videos, somebody told me that there was a way to kind of act like you're in creative mode while building in normal mode. So we're going to hop into the settings real quick, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Under your game options, so you can actually do this without even backing out of your game. Just go into your game options here, and you see single block right here. You should be able to do line and plane just like you do in creative mode. So all the stuff that I showed you in creative mode for placing blocks will work in non-creative. It just won't upgrade the blocks immediately. So I'm going to hop back into the game here, and I'll be with you when I get back in. And we are back in. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a try. See if it actually works. Actually, it's not working, oddly enough. Let me make sure it's saved. Oh, I don't think I saved it in my options. So let's go back into game here. Plane. That should work, but it's not actually allowing me to do it. That's why I never could get that to work. I don't know why, but it just doesn't. So if you know how to fix that, let me know, because someone did leave a message in one of my previous videos where I was in creative mode talking about that. And if I have to do anything else, just let me know and I definitely will. I just don't like having to place blocks by hand like this, single block at a time. It's kind of annoying, actually. I'd love it to where I could just hold down control and just drag like I can in creative mode. All right, so we've gotten it. Oh, that was perfect, actually. Any more blocks and we wouldn't have been able to do it with a flat plane here. So now we've got that done. Let's go ahead and just basically give some support here. We'll fill all this stuff in later once we get everything dug out and decided how big we want everything to be. But now that that's done, I'm going to just basically add a little section over here. Let's see, I'm going to need some plates here. Let me grab up what I need and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're just going to somewhere near the center of this. I'm not exactly sure where the center is. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to add a conveyor here, and then I'm going to add a couple tubes here. 3 tubes should be plenty, and then I'm going to add a connector. And then I can remove this setup that we have on the ship over here and basically just connect right here from this area. So basically I'll just put a connector down right here for now. That would work out perfectly. Now once I get all of this stuff taken care of, I can dock on that section right there, and then I can run my drills off of here, and that way it'll be connected to the ship and go directly into the ship, and we can just dock the ship, not have to worry about wasting our fuel or anything like that, and just sit the ship there, and we can even control it from the ship if we decide to. So that's exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go ahead and get all this welded up real quick, and I'll be right back with you. I'm just recycling this thing that I had to connect our ship here earlier in order to weld up the stuff down here. Now, I'll probably need to add a battery to this. I'm not 100% sure if it'll connect or not because this thing doesn't have any power. So I don't think it'll quite connect like it's supposed to. We'll find out. but adding a battery shouldn't be too much of an issue. We should have everything that we need to make one. I want to hurry up and get this ship docked as soon as we can, though, because I'm running into an issue. You see how it's actually shifting? I'm having to go back in every now and then and fix it. It's something wrong. Sometimes when you try to make something stationary, it doesn't always work, and you have to play around with the thrusters a little bit. But in order to do that safely, I want to get it docked. So let me go ahead and finish this up real quick. Let's see, what do we still need here? I'm gonna have to go straighten the ship out, but you see how it just basically decides on its own. It's gonna kind of move a little bit. It's got something to do with the override on the thrusters. The way you fix it is just basically that you go in, you turn the override all the way up on the thrusters, and then you turn it down. But it's better to have it stationary. If you're close to something, I wouldn't really recommend doing that unless you're docked, because you could run into an issue of running into something accidentally. So we're just going to move it up closer here to where we want to be anyway. And yes, we are going to need a battery on that thing, so that shouldn't be an issue. We can easily make a battery with what we've got so far, just from that one little section that we cut out. And we're just going to place the battery right here on this section here and queue it up and get rid of the stuff so we can grab what we need. And we're going to queue this up as well. Okay, so we've gotten all of that done. We should be able to dock in now. And when we do that, we'll just go ahead and move this section down here, down to this spot here, and basically start building our drill platform that we need to do here. So let me go ahead and dock it up just so we're in a safe position and we don't have to worry about our ship drifting away on it. And we are parked. So now we're basically part of the base, so we're good to go. We don't have to worry about the ship going away. We don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Let me go ahead and grab some fuel while I'm here. And I also need to queue up some sort of, let's see, yeah, I can just do one right in this section down here. I need to queue up an O2H2 generator or 3. Get those set up. Let's see, do we have what we need? I don't think we do. No, we're going to need some steel plate to start that, so let me grab some of that. 4 should be good. I'll just go ahead and get these set up real quick. I think I can grab everything I need right here from the medical bay. No, I can't grab it out of the medical bay, but I can queue it up. So I went ahead and queued it up. I should be able to grab it out of this, maybe? Yeah, there we go. This way we can start processing all that ice that we've picked up so far. It's just sitting in the inventory and not doing anything at the moment. Hopefully we've got enough computers by now. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's check on the status of these things, see if they're actually working. It's interesting. One of them are working, but the rest aren't. I don't know why. I need to figure that out real quick. This one right here is working, but these guys aren't. So I'm just going to run a junction across here because we know that's going to work. This section's connected for some reason, but it doesn't seem like this section is. I may have made a mistake previously, but it should be connected through this section here. So I don't know what the deal is. You know what? I don't think both sides of the ship are connected. This is interesting. So I'll just run, yeah, I'll run some conveyors straight across the ceiling here to connect both sides of the ship, and that should be just fine. So let me go ahead and queue up a couple of these. And this is one of the reasons actually that I don't just go ahead and post things up on the workshop as soon as I finish them, because you're going to notice that a lot of times you'll have little issues like this that you just need to work out through playing for a while. And when you feel comfortable putting it on the workshop, then absolutely do. But until then, I don't really like having these little bugs and stuff in anything that I'm going to put in the workshop. So those two sides of the ship should be connected now. Let me check, see if these guys are running. Yes, no, they're not. Okay, so that means I need to probably run one through this section here as well, because I don't think it's connected through that. And I'm going to do the same thing here just to be on the safe side. Okay, so yeah, that worked. I just made a couple extra connections. These should actually grab some ice very soon. And we're going to, just to be absolutely certain here, hold off a second and see if that works. If that doesn't work, so it doesn't seem like it is working. These should be connected, but I don't think they are. So what we're going to do... Oh, wait, we're just out of ice. Okay. Because this guy's empty now. So let me check to see if we have any ice in our inventory. Okay, so all of them are working. Good. Okay, so the blue means working. That's what I got to remember. Now that we're good on that and we've got all of our ice being processed, we should be able to fill up our tanks pretty easily here. And we're going to be picking up a lot more ice as well. So that's fine. We'll leave that. Just let it do its thing. And we'll come back through here. And I'm trying to figure out how I want to do the downward motion of our setup that we're working on here. I haven't quite got that one figured out yet. I was thinking maybe do something a little bit interesting with the hinges and all of that fun stuff, but I don't think we're going to do it that way. I think we're just basically going to run... To start with, we're going to have to get rid of these. So let's go ahead and start cutting these down. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do here is I'm probably going to need some more pistons here now that I think about it. Let me extend all of these all the way out and just see what the deal is, how far that they'll go out. And then we'll build the pistons like we need to, the right distance and everything. And then I'm going to just put some down pistons on it as well. And what we could do with that is... I just need to make sure that we're the right distance here. In fact, I need to back that up a little bit, don't I? Yeah, I do, actually. So that's not going to work at all. We're going to have to basically build off the back here and build the pistons far enough to go all the way out. So we're going to have to build them one at a time, extend them, see where they go, just to make sure that we cover this entire area. And then we're just going to build some down pistons from here as well. I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and just set this up with these pistons like they are and not get everything completely done all in one swoop and just add to it later. So let me go ahead and get rid of this so I can add more pistons. I'm going to need more steel plates here. I'll just grab all the steel plates, go in and get them started. See, those 4 seem to go a little bit more than halfway, so I think 3 should cover our area that we need. There we go, and then we can place one of these guys. So let's go ahead and get these built up and placed and see how they do. One thing I have learned by doing all of this is that the build planner sometimes struggles with these pistons here. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't always like to send everything through the way it should if you're trying to use your build planner stuff. So just be aware of that if you're going to be working. Now, here's the interesting part though. Even though this is almost all the way built up, if you're real careful, you can actually squeeze in here and grab out of here. So that is a thing that you can do as well. So you don't have to worry as much about it not going through like it's supposed to. I think that should pretty much be everything. Let me check the other assembler here. Make sure that... Okay, yeah, there's some more stuff in here. I've got these set to help each other out, by the way, just so you know. It saves a little bit of time, to be honest. I'm going to do something a little strange here, too. I'm going to leave this last one until we get to our... Get our first drill made here. That way I can grab the things from the drill. It's just things to save time and effort in the future. So let me go ahead and do a couple steel plates here. I got rid of everything that we didn't need basically and broke it all back down. I've been doing that constantly throughout all of this just so we don't have extra materials that we don't need lying around all over the place. It'll save some time. Well, not really save time. It'll just save a bit of headache dealing with all of that. and making sure that we've still got everything that we need and don't have to go gathering for any more materials or anything. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see. I need to find the drills here. I have a bad habit of replacing exactly what I need to make, but that's just personal problem here. All right, so let's see. I'm going to place a drill. Actually, I need to add some more pistons here, don't I? I guess 2 pistons will be enough for the first round through. Let me make sure I can fit a drill on the end here. Yeah, there we go. So we can add our drills here, and that'll give us 2 pistons downward, and then we can just remove the drills. I've got some ideas for those, actually. I think I'm going to use connectors for that once I'm done. I'll basically just cut it loose right here. I'll show you what I'm talking about once we get to that. That'll probably be in the next episode. I just want to get this one drilling for now. We can go ahead and extend these 2 pistons and make sure that we're going to be far enough here. Now note we are getting clang, so that's going to be a thing that we have to worry about. And I'm only going to extend as far as this goes for now. In fact, I might not even need that 1 piston right there, but that's fine. We've already got it put in and everything in place, so I'm not too worried about that. We'll just set the distances there. And let's go ahead and slowly reverse this one, because it's probably going to hit the... Actually, I don't know. That might actually barely clear. But yeah, I'll just extend that one, see how far that goes out, and then we'll finish all these up and start working on these drills. I want to get this section here done so I can grab out of the drill. You'll see what I'm talking about. I've still got a place to grab out of here, and I don't want to get rid of that. Let me make sure that I can't do that from somewhere else as well. Let me go to the edge here of this one and see if I can grab. Oh, never mind. Ignore all of that. We can grab straight out of them. That's the thing about the way that the pistons interact with each other. So we can go ahead and finish this one up and just grab from the pistons. Let's see. I think that one is not done yet. Okay. Yeah, that's going to hit. So what I'm going to do here is just remove a couple blocks here. That should let it through for now. And we're going to have to move this one forward a little bit. Actually, let me put those back. There is something that we can do with this. And this is a lot of the stuff that I usually leave out of the episodes, but there's a lot of like trial and error stuff that goes on in these episodes. So if you're wondering why I do a lot more of other videos but less of these, this is one of the reasons why. There's a lot of stuff, like I'll have an idea of what I want to give you guys when I start the episode, but I don't have it all scripted out and everything. Not always. Sometimes I do, but most of the time not so much. Okay, so this piston we want to set up at about a maximum distance of, say, we're going to go for 0.5 meters to start with and see if that works. We're going to hit reverse here and see if that's too far or just right. Another 0.5 meters should be good. Yeah, 0.5 meters should be perfect for this. We're going to go another 0.1, another 0.2, just see if that's going to be where we want it. I want it to basically just touch that block. Not quite touch it, but very, very close to it. Yeah, like that should be close enough. I think that's within the drill radius of the drill itself. So we're going to go ahead and queue all of this stuff up and finish it all up. These should all be in working order there. So let's go queue this up. All right, so we got all of that done there, and basically when we reverse this, there's going to be some of this spot that's left open here. We'll figure out how to handle that later. I might even just use this to drill out the excess because I don't think we're going to need all the material past that, but we're going to go ahead and work on getting the drills wide enough here So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and start extending these pistons. Well, actually, I need to go ahead and lay out some more drills here. So let me grab some steel plates out of here. I need to figure out how many I need of these drills. That looks like a lot. So give me just a minute. I'll queue up a bunch of the drills. And we probably won't have enough to finish all of this up at the moment. So I'm just going to basically get them all queued up, as many as we can. Let's see, drill. Now, if we hold down the control key, it's going to queue up 10 at a time. So I'm going to queue up 20 drills and just let those run through until we run out of materials. Make as many drills as we can, make a pass if we have to, and then make more drills. Now, when you make your own, if you're going to be doing something like this, when you make your own and you are on Xbox, I would recommend going a little bit slower than 0.8 meters per second. It seems to be a little bit shaky just with the one drill added here, as you see. So that could become an issue in the future. Since you don't have inertial tensors, basically the trick is if your stuff seems a little too shaky at the speed that you're going, just back down on the speed a little bit. The slower you go, the safer you'll be, basically. That's the trick to avoiding clang when it comes to inertial tensors without using them. The slower the better, basically. Don't get impatient and it'll work just fine. If you're on PC, you can go ahead and use share inertial tensors, which I'll probably do that for this just to be on the safe side so I can speed this up a little bit. I've been recording this episode for 2 hours and 21 minutes already, so which is one of the reasons why I don't do more of these episodes compared to everything else that I do, just in case you're wondering. I've been recording for 2.5 hours already, and it takes less time than that to completely make another video. So I just put way more into these than I do the others, obviously. Yeah, you notice how shaky this is getting at 0.2 meters per, but we're also not running 4 of these like we thought we were. So I'll probably just go ahead and share inertial tensors on these, but the trick is just slow them down as slow as you can go. In fact, let me grab all these pistons here and share inertial tensors. There we go. But on the PC, make sure you do that if you're in experimental mode. And let me know if you guys have gotten the update for sharing inertial tensors yet on the Xbox. As soon as you guys do, that opens up a whole new world of possibilities for us. So I can add in a bunch of other stuff into the videos. I'm going to go ahead and give this one, or I'm just going to reverse this piston here and start digging down into the ground here just a little bit. And then once I think we're far enough, I'm just going to cut this one off. And figure out what distance that is. So I need to, that should be about right for where we want to go in the first place. I'll have to worry about this section here a little bit. So let me drag this up just slightly. I'm just trying to figure out where our distance should be to start with. Okay, so 4.2 meters. Won't quite clear it. I want to show you guys all of this stuff just so you see exactly what I do to figure all this stuff out, because we're coming to the point to where there's not much more for me to show you in this series. So I kind of want to get it to the point to where you guys can figure these things out for yourself if you need to. Just show you what goes into figuring these things out that we're doing. Okay, so that should be good right there. And now we can add a few more of these guys. So I'm going to need some more steel plates, which we do have some being made, I believe. Yes. So we'll put 6 on either side for now. Hopefully we've got enough to finish that off. And I'm going to go ahead and queue all of these up. Okay, I was actually only able to do about 2 more of those drills. So I'm just going to go ahead and make sure all these drills are toggled on. And we're going to do our first little pass here. We're going to have to drop down slightly. We're going to set this as the minimum distance for this one though. So 2.7 meters is the minimum distance for this one. That way we'll always return to this spot when we hit reverse on the drills. And then we're just going to go ahead and start extending all of these pistons. All right, so yeah, we've been going for quite a while now. I think I'm gonna, instead of making the episode like 2 hours long, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this here. Now, for those of you who stuck around this far in the video, go ahead. I've been watching, I just finished up season 3 of Stranger Things. And one of the things that they were talking about there, don't worry, no spoilers if you haven't watched it yet. They were talking about a silver cat. So go ahead and let me know how amazing you are by making a comment down below, something about a silver cat, whatever you can think of, whatever's funny to you, go ahead, and that way I'll know that you made it all the way to the end of the video. Thank you for watching the video all the way through. If you haven't already, please drop a like to let me know that you did. Also, if you're new here and you haven't subscribed already, think about doing that and hitting the bell notification in order to know when the new videos go live. I do daily videos, including Space Engineers, 7 Days to Die, Empyrean Galactic Survival, and No Man's Sky, among others. If you like what you saw and you want to see more, click one of the videos on your screen now. Thank you. Have a nice day.